Hey, this is Jared, and in this video we're going to be talking about viewport units. So if you're not 100% sure on viewports and their behaviour, it may help you to watch the video I made on that topic before watching this one. So viewport units are a collection of CSS units, VW, VH, VMin and VMax, that use a percentage of the current viewport size as a unit of length for whatever they're applied to. So we use them just like any other CSS unit. So you're familiar with pixels and percentages. And we use CSS units all in the same sort of format. So we have a value and then the unit, the value and then the unit, the value and then the unit. So in the pixel case, obviously the value refers to the amount of pixels. In the percentage case, the value refers to a percentage of the parent element. And in viewport units, it refers to a percentage of the relevant viewport dimension. So in VW's case, this is viewport width. So this here, 50 VW, would stand for 50% of the viewport width. This is 50% of the viewport height. And VMin is either viewport width or viewport height, whichever is smaller. So this is 100% of either the viewport height or the viewport width, depending which is smaller. And this is the opposite, so 100% of the viewport width or the viewport height, whichever is larger. So hopefully that makes sense, but if not, let's jump straight into an example. So say we have this layout, and we have text here in these coloured blocks, and we want the blocks to take up the entire height of the screen. Taking up the entire width of the screen is fairly easy because we can just use the percentage unit. We can say width is 100% and that's fine. But height poses a bit of an issue, and we don't really have a solution other than JavaScript until now with viewport units. So let's have a look. So this is that page you just saw, and we're linking in the style.css style sheet. Here's our div selector, and you can see at the moment, as I said, we have a width of 100% but a fixed height of 300 pixels. But now we can just say 100 VH, which is 100% of the viewport height, and save that. And it really is as simple as that. So now these blocks, as we scroll down, we can see that they fill up the entire browser window. So that's really simple. You do have to be careful with this on mobile browsers because it can be a bit quirky. I'm sure you all know that mobile browsers tend to have a sort of toolbar at the top that slides in and out as and when it's needed. And this can pose a bit of a problem for mobile browsers because it sort of plays with the viewport height, and so the browser doesn't really know what viewport height to use, and it can jump about a little. So yeah, be careful about that. On some browsers it handles it fine, but it's something to be aware of. Perhaps a more useful application for viewport units is sizing text relative to the viewport. So down here we have font size, and as I said, viewport units are just like any other CSS unit. We can use them in here as well. So I'm going to use 2% excuse me, of the viewport width, and let's have a look at that. And that was actually pretty much the same as what I had before, but now you can see as I resize and refresh, you can see that the font resizes with that. Very nice. So obviously when you get down to the smaller widths, you're going to want to choose a new size and then maybe enforce that with a media query. But hopefully you can see the use of this. You can see here in Chrome, as I'm resizing, the font size is not being recalculated automatically. I'm having to refresh. If we go over to Chrome Canary, the sort of beta version of Chrome, we can see that this is not the case, so it's sizing very nicely. Just with the resizing of the window. But this is just to show that the support for viewport units is not that great. So here's the Can I Use page. You can see there's a lot of red up at the top, but even down here there's quite a bit of partial support, and this is Opera Mini here, doesn't support it at all. Okay, so that's I mean, that's VH and VW really. There's not a whole lot more to say. So let's look at VMin and VMax. So as I said, VMin will take either VW or V8, whichever is smaller. And VMax does the opposite, it takes whichever is larger. Now, where is this going to be useful? Yeah, that's the thing, is it's rarely useful. So here we have this example. This is really the best I could come up with. I'm sorry, I can't think of anything else. So we have this square, and say for some reason that you wanted this square to fit itself inside the browser window. So you want it to be as big as it can be without overflowing at all. So how can we do that? Well, at the moment we have a fixed width of 300 pixels on both, and I've given it a background color and sort of centered it a bit. So we can use VMin, we can use 100 VMin, in fact, and so this is 100% of the smallest side of the browser window. So now if we look at that, that's going to fit nicely within our browser window. And you can see that that does work. Is it useful? I don't know. I can't really imagine when it's going to be useful, but yeah, VMin and VMax, they exist. So VMax obviously would do a similar thing, but it would fill the page. Again, I can't really see this being that useful, but yeah, go wild. Let your imagination run free in the field of wonder that is VMin and VMax. Yeah, see what you can come up with, and let me know if you find anything really useful to do with it. Alright, so that was a brief introduction to viewport units. There really isn't a whole lot more to say. I hope you find them useful and can find use for them in your designs.